We cannot keep on working in these top-down, autocratic, bureaucratic cultures that we have existed and experienced for the last 30 or 40 years. There's a whole new workforce out there that will just not accept it anymore. There's a number of reasons for this, but the number one reason is the people who will be working in your organizations, the people who will be working for you. You see, over the years, we've had a number of generations who have gone through the workforce. Years ago, many of you remember, was the traditionalist. You could always remember the traditionalists because they are the people who came to work very dutifully every day. And they come in on time, they went home for lunch, and they left at 5 o'clock. They came in wearing the patches on their elbows, and they come in with their pocket protectors in their shirts. Now, these people were born and lived up until about the 1945s, or the mid-40s. Now, many of them have gone from the workforce now, but there are still a number of them in the workforce even today. But then after that came the baby boomers. And you all have heard so much about the baby boomers. They are called baby boomers because they were an explosion in the workforce. And in fact, in North America, over the last 30 years, we have had about 70 million of them who have been going through the workforce. Now, these baby boomers were born from the years 1945 up to about 1960. So as you can understand, many of them are just coming up, the younger ones, to about 65 years old, so they are starting to retire. And it is estimated that in the next 15 years, about 50 million of these boomers are going to be retiring from the workforce. And that's going to cause some significant shortages in the workforce. And the reason there's going to be significant shortages in many critical professions like policing, like IT, like healthcare, is because the next generation that came along, as we know as the X generation, they were very small in numbers and not that significant in terms of changing how we worked. They were the early adopters to technology. In fact, researchers say the one thing that the Gen Xers are going to be remembered for is being the first generation who slept together before they get married. But then after that, then came along the Y generation. And the Y generation also was not that significant in numbers. But they were not just the early adopters of the technologies, they changed the way we work. They are the ones that bring their cell phones to work. They were born with when they were born, the doctor cut the umbilical cord and their mother gave them a cell phone. And the cell phone has become one of the longest umbilical cords that we have ever experienced. But then, after that, another generation has come along, and that is the millennials. And it is estimated in the next 14 years, there are going to be about 50 million millennials come into the workforce. So you better get to know who these millennials are. And the first thing you better get to know is this, is that they were born being very special. And they were brought up in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. And in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, everybody's special. And you're special just because you're special. I mean, some of you remember you were special too. You were special if you got an A on your report cards. You were special if you hit a home run. Or you were special if you got a summer job, but not in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. In Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, you didn't even have to play in the game, and you came home with a trophy. And now these kids are coming into the workforce, and they want to be treated special. And it is now being reported that you do a performance evaluation on one of these kids, and guess what? The next thing you know is their parents are coming in to review the performance appraisal with you. Thank you.